Why does it seem like black folks are the biggest losers when it comes to real estate? Well, that's a really loaded question, and I probably won't be able to completely accurately answer it during the course of this video. But I have been licensed for 16 years, and I've been involved in over 100 transactions on the sales side and well over 100 transactions on the leasing side. And when it comes to real estate sales, I've noticed a pattern of errors that lots of real estate purchasers that are black make. Now, I want to point out and just be really transparent and be sympathetic. A lot of black real estate buyers are first generation. No one in their family may have owned property prior to them. Okay, so I want to take that into account. But with that being said, here's some of the things that I've noticed. First is not doing the proper research. A lot of times black real estate buyers, they want to get the top agent that in their area that's doing the most sales, and they don't bother to research. You need to know what kind of sales is that person doing. That agent, that broker that you're interested in working with, are they working with buyers? Because lots of top brokers don't like working with buyers. I know a couple of top brokers. One lady I know in particular, been in the business almost 20 years. She won't touch buyers. She only does listings. But if she gets a buyer and they have a good enough approval letter, she will pawn them off to someone on her team. And they may not get that level of expertise or accessibility that they thought they were going to get. So first is you got to do your research and make sure that the broker that you pick is really the broker that works for what you need, not just the one that has the highest sales numbers. Here's another thing that I've noticed. A lot of black borrowers will max out their budget. So if they got a $400,000 approval letter, that doesn't mean that you got to go out looking for a $400,000 home. And yes, I know real estate prices have skyrocketed. It's really ridiculous how it's skyrocketed in the last really 3 to 4 years. It is totally skyrocketed. But every neighborhood in America does not only have homes that are $400,000 and up. When you get that approval letter, you really got to think about what's comfortable for you to pay. It's not how much are you purchasing the property for, it's how much can you really pay per month. If you only can pay $1,800 a month, look for something that fits that category. If you can pay $2,200 a month comfortably and you want to get the best bang that you can for that buck, do that. But maxing out the budget and not realizing that, hey, if you have a hiccup in your income, if you become ill, maybe can't work for a little while, maybe if it's a two-income household and one member has a dip in income, that mortgage is still due. And if you lose that real estate, if you get foreclosed, that equity that you have is really, it's nothing. It's worthless. So the second thing that I see that a lot of black borrowers do wrong, or a lot of black purchasers of real estate, is they max out the budget. Number three, being short-sighted. When I say being short-sighted, I'm talking about thinking that you have to get your dream home on the first swing of the bat. It is nothing wrong with getting a home that does not meet your every beck and call criteria that you have for your dream home, because you don't have to live there forever. This first home might be your home for 5 years, might be your home for 7 years, might even be your home for 10 years. But the key is to try to get it and get it at the best price and terms possible. And I see a lot of times with my people where they just got to have the dream home right off top. And that's really not how it has to go for you to actually be successful as a homeowner. This is the last thing I want to point out. It's just getting older and making poor choices. So in my career, many times I worked with older black homeowners that weren't first generation. They had owned real estate and maybe they had the children living with them. Maybe it was like 5 or 6 of them in, a 3-bedroom ranch home. Maybe they was living tight all those years. Now the kids are grown and gone, but you're getting towards retirement age, and unless you have a really good retirement nest egg plus monthly income coming in that's going to match or exceed what you were getting while you're working, it's not a great idea to take on a boatload of debt for a home. And I've seen it where people could never get that property. Maybe they are a first generation buyer. They could never get the property when they had the kids in the house, and now they're willing to take on way more debt than they should going into their senior years, which could have a negative impact on the quality of life that they're going to have as, a senior when they should be living their absolute best life. So those are just a couple things that I wanted to point out about. This is why Black people are not the winners in real estate. And here's just to kind of add on, piggyback a little tidbit. Buy distress, folks. Sacrifice, save some money for a couple years so you can have the type of down payment where you're not stuck competing with everybody else that has an FHA approval letter or 5% conventional approval letter. When you got 20, 30% down, you can now compete with the investors. And there are deals out here if you are willing to get your hands dirty, put a little sweat equity in, buy something that's distressed, and you'll see the benefit of all that additional equity. Plus, you can really make the place look the way you want it to look. A rehabber is making it look the way the general public wants it to look. You can make the home look the way you want it to look, save a whole lot of money in interest, and then you can also accelerate the rate that you are gaining equity, which helps you on the back end when it's time to sell. Hey, I hope that was helpful. Tell me what you think about it in the comments. Tell me if I missed out on anything, because I'm sure I did, about why we as Black folks are not really winning in real estate as a whole when you look at it from an investment standpoint. And if it's your home is supposed to be an investment, you should benefit from it financially. All right, that's all I got, guys. I'll see you soon in the next video. Until then, class is dismissed.